welcome to Let's Play Gran Turismo, episode 29. So, you may remember in the previous episode, or segment I should say, I notably decided to buy myself this Subaru Impreza WRX STI version Type R for the Special Stage Route 11 All-Night Endurance Race 2. And well, since we have now done that, it is now officially time for us to move on to what I believe is... our 14th and final championship in the game, as well as also being the last championship event, as well as events actually, in this game overall. So, I have thought about this, and I know precisely which car it is I'm going to go for. So, I'm going to head over to Mitsubishi, considering Mitsubishi really isn't something I've officially used yet, and well, I'm going to buy this. The Mitsubishi Gto Lm Edition. And well, unfortunately, like with pretty much every other special model in this game, you only have a choice between two colours. As of which, I've got a choice between silver and yellow, and well, just because I think, essentially, I think it's probably grey, but anyways, I think grey on this car is probably less terrible than yellow, because I really don't think I can imagine seeing a Mitsubishi in yellow, but anyways. We are going to purchase this car, and well, in terms of tuning, I don't think we need to do anything, because it is now time for us to head over to the 4th and final championship in the GT League, as well as also being essentially the 17th and last event in the game. The Gran Turismo World Cup, the highest class in Gran Turismo, the ultimate challenge with real racing cars. So this championship does not have 3, 4 or 5 races, but this one has 6 races. And I believe, as far as I know, we are going 3 laps around each of these. So, High Speed Ring, Trial Mountain, Grand Valley Speedway, Special Stage Route 5, Deep Forest Raceway, and Special Stage Route 11 as the climax for this championship. So, if we can get the pole for one of these races, that's 10 grand. If we can win the championship, that's 50 grand. And also, if we can win a race, then subsequently overall, we are, most likely to get an approximate total of precisely, 170 grand. And well, as for the pole positions, well, I might as well just throw that one out the window, because I know for sure I am not going to get the pole. But anyways, so here we go. It is now time for the final championship of this game. Let's see if we can win it on our first attempt, and if so, then hopefully overall we can see if it is possible for us to score the perfect 54 points. But in terms of the maximum amount of credits you can earn from this championship, I would say that is approximately 230,000 if you can do everything perfectly. And obviously in many cases I am not aiming to do perfectly. But oddly enough, for this championship we actually don't have much of a competition besides the Nissan GTR LM. And well, as for the other opponents, we have a Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 4 GSR, a Honda Accord Sedan, SIR, a Toyota Exif 200 GT, and also a Mazda Lantis Type R. So, not really much of a competition, but then again, I'm really not expecting to put this car on the pole. But anyways, I'm still going to do qualifying anyway, just to see how far off the pace I am. So, let's get right to it, and see if we are not too far off the pace. I have managed to put this car on the pole by just literally over 1/10 of a second ahead of the GTR, and then it was the Lancer Evo 4 in third, followed by the Accord in fourth, the Lantis was fifth, and the Toyota Active is starting last for this race. I mean, even though I did put this car on the pole by 1/10 of a second, I don't think I'm officially, feeling like I'm officially, in the mood to qualify for the rest of the championship, so, yeah. So, I think in many cases, my pole time was probably just a fluke, but again, I could be wrong. Even though obviously, I have often proved myself right as many times as I have wrong, but anyways. Let's go to race 1 of the Gran Turismo World Cup. 3 laps of high-speed ring. Hopefully we can win, but we shall wait and see, considering this car is a 4-wheel drive. Checking to see if my microphone's on. And already I have just immediately shot off on the line. As of which, for the moment, I am currently holding on to the lead ahead of the GTR. The Evo 4 I think is still in third. And well, as for the Toyota Active, I think he is pretty much in last at the moment, but again, like I said before, I could be wrong, but again, even though I did get the pole for high-speed ring, essentially overall, I'm really not going to bother qualifying for the rest of this championship, because I really don't think it's worth it. I mean, some people may think I'm taking the wrong decision, but again, to me, I feel like in many cases, I would rather just focus on my race pace rather than my quali pace. If you don't mind to whom it may concern, who thinks I should qualify for the rest of this championship, I'm not going to. And already both myself and the GTR have just immediately shot away from the rest of the field, pretty much. Considering overall, we are literally the only 2 race cars that are actually in this race. But anyways, I win race 1. One race down, 5 to go. And I won that race by 1.6 seconds. Well, by less than 1.7 seconds over the GTR. Then it was the Evo 4, and surprisingly the Toyota Active, despite him having a terrible qualifying session, he eventually managed to claw his way back up to 4th, whilst the Accord was 5th, and as for the Lantis, well, he was last. But anyways, that was race 1. And I of course had won that race with relative ease, if I'm being completely honest. Well, at least since I took the pole. Well, as for a thumbnail, I don't think I'm going to take one just yet. Or, no. I don't think I'm going to save a replay just yet, but I will do soon. But anyways, so not going to qualify because I have a feeling I will just be last. And so there of course is your starting lineup. And well, I would have a feeling between the Accord, the Axiv and the Lantis, I would imagine those guys are probably going to be duking it out pretty much all championship long to see who will officially finish 4th. But anyways, let's head to race 2 of this championship. Trial Mountain. And surprisingly, for the moment, it looks like the Evo 4 has already taken away 2nd from the Skyline. But again, I would imagine regarding that Turismo GTR, he will probably claw his way back up into 2nd anyway, unless he suddenly starts bouncing around and then suddenly starts, you know, crashing a lot. Then essentially overall, I would imagine the top 2 spots in this championship are secured pretty much with relative ease for sure. And that's a wall. And well, looks like at the moment the Evo 4 is actually managing to hold his own against the GTR, and I'm assuming the main reason for that is probably because he is fucking bouncing around a lot. Very much like I do with unstable cars who probably need a racing suspension to keep them on the ground. But anyways, we've definitely got a close battle for 4th. Meanwhile, up front, you have me. Well, even though I could have qualified for this event if I wanted to, I decided in the end I wasn't going to, because I would have probably crashed on my qualifying lap anyway, so obviously I think from a personal perspective I probably took the best option of avoiding qualifying, because I'm fairly certain that would have probably happened on my qualifying lap. But anyways, at the moment, I am once again extending my advantage over both the Skyline and the Evo 4, who is managing to hold his own at the present time. For the moment, I am still extending my lead. With my GTO, I'm managing to somehow extend my advantage. coming through the chicane and crossing the line now. Victory number 2. Going to the GTO. And holy shit, I won that event by 7.9 seconds over the Evo. You know, it could be possible to assume that I am essentially dominating this championship at the present time. But again, I could be wrong, but essentially it's just what I assume. And well, did I save a replay? No, I won't. No, I won't. I will save a replay eventually, but obviously I just don't feel like it now. But anyway, it is now time for race 3 at Grand Valley. And am I going to qualify this time? Fuck it, I'll give it a shot and hope of course that I can put this car on the pole. To put this car on the pole by 1.5 seconds over the GTR, then it was the Evo 4 in third, followed by the Accord, the Exif was 5th, and then the Lantis was last. And now of course I am going to have a look at the starting order. So 10 grand for clinching the pole. And well, now that I think about it, I'll probably do one more qualifying session and then I think that'll be it from me. But anyways, so everything seems to be even between the bottom 3 at the moment, but meanwhile up front we notably have a tie for second. And well, as for me, I'm just gradually pulling away with this championship. But anyways, let's head to race 3 of what is also the halfway point of the Gran Turismo World Cup. 2 down, 4 to go. And already I am off to a relatively promising start, and so is my fellow Mitsubishi. But again, and just had a little bounce there at the hairpin, but managing to compose myself and getting the thing back under control. Unless I do that. And there is a Skyline GTI right up my ass. Or unless it's probably just the Turismo GTR. I really don't know for sure, but could be the Turismo GTR. It could also be the Skyline GTR. But anyways, heading through the Sacking Tunnel. Well, as for me at the present time, I am currently extending my lead over the GTR, and everything at the moment actually turns out to be pretty spread out at the present time, unless I do that, and in which case it very much is not spread out. Because that is basically just me being an idiot. present time, I think this championship overall, for me at least, has actually proven to be relatively easy at the present time. And well, the main reason for that is probably because apart from the GTR, I really haven't had any more, you know, powerful challenges in this championship, because well, half of this field essentially has less than 350 horsepower, which probably could be one of the contributing factors to how exactly my championship at the moment is currently coming to me very easily. But anyways, well, I think it's official to say the GTR probably will take back second place in the championship, ahead of my fellow Mitsubishi, who will probably be finishing in third for sure, at least in this championship anyway. But well, as it has been in the first two races, I'm just gradually managing to basically eke out a gap between myself and the GTR. Considering the GTR himself has essentially been my only real challenger for this championship, but anyways. In the meantime, I'm now officially rounding out the final corners of this lap, and I'm on the grass, but anyways. On the main straight, win number 3 for the GTO, and at the present time I'm very much on course to potentially scoring a perfect 54 points. But anyways, we do now have a shuffle in the championship, because we now essentially have a battle for 4th between the Toyota Active and the Honda Accord. And well, as for the Lantis, I would say he is pretty much well off the pace at the present time. Oh, well, I didn't necessarily mean to do that, but anyway. So, new lap record, also a new race record. Considering this will probably be the only time that I actually race here at Grand Valley in this championship. But anyways, I'm going to save my replay. And well, I think I've already got a decent thumbnail for this one. So, 29, because essentially this is segment number 29. Shalabang, shalaboom. Three down, 3 to go. Can we win the remaining races? Hopefully we can. We shall wait and see. But hopefully we can. Well, should I qualify? Fuck it. I'll just qualify anyway. Considering essentially overall this championship has proven to be a lot easier than I was anticipating. At least for me anyway. Relatively clear really that both me and this Mitsubishi Gto Lm Edition are probably going to dominate the rest of this championship. Meanwhile, further back, the Toyota Active qualified last again, and also, ironically enough, the Mazda Lantis eventually managed to qualify 5th. But anyways, we are now going to head over to the race itself. So this is your starting order. I am once again on the pole ahead of the Nissan GTR LM. Unless it's a Nismo GTR. Well, probably a Nismo, but anyway. The Lancia Evo 4 is third, and then we have the Accord ahead of the Mazda Lantis and also the Toyota Active. And well, despite me having the heaviest car here, oddly enough, I also have the quickest car here. But anyways, let's head to race 4. For what will probably be another race of domination. But we shall wait and see. You know, I'm really starting to wonder if I've potentially made the choice of choosing what is potentially one of the best cars in the game. Well, I could be wrong, but obviously it's just an assumption to say that I think, well, essentially overall, I just wonder if I have officially made the choice of probably picking one of the best cars in the game. But anyways. At the moment, I would probably assume it is the GTR ahead of the Evo. And I just hit the wall. And even though the Skyline does take the lead away from me, just for a brief moment, I managed to take it back again. At the present time, and well, as for the Evo 4 at the moment, I think it's just relatively quiet for him at the moment. Even though at the moment we do essentially have a tussle going on for fourth, and well, I would say as for second, I think essentially, because Trial Mountain was probably a bumpy circuit, that was essentially the main reason on why I think the GTR did not secure second at Trial Mountain, mainly because obviously the track surface itself was bumpy. Well, I could be just, you know, making assumptions with these things, but yeah, that's what I think. Because I'm fairly certain I know precisely who will officially... and I've hit the wall. I think I need to shut the fuck up now. Oh, and the Skyline has just hit the wall as well. Assumingly because we probably made contact. And now it looks as though, surprisingly, it could be the Evo 4 that actually takes second in this race. So there could still be a tussle going on to see who will officially score second in this championship. Even though I am fairly confident in saying the second place finisher will probably be the GTR. But anyways, run number 4. So 4 out of 4 victories for the GTO. And because I made contact with the GTR, essentially with the GTR after I spun, or vice versa, essentially overall, I would say there is still going to be a battle going on better yet. Because, well, for the moment we have 2 ties after 4 races. We have another tie for second, and as well as that we also have a tie for 4th as well. Well, as for the Mantis, well, I would think it's highly probable that he will probably be last in every race. I mean, I could be wrong, of course, but obviously it's just what I assume, anyways. Another 20 grand for winning, and now of course we must move on to race 5. Our 5th and penultimate race of this championship, Deep Forest. And am I going to be confident enough to qualify? Well, I think I'll just give it a go, and obviously, if I make a mistake, then well, I just won't bother with qualifying for Route 11. But yeah, let's see how this goes. Were not successful, because as I predicted, I was probably going to make a mistake on this course, because well, subsequently overall, I hit a bank, and that was pretty much what costed me the pole by less than 2/10. Considering essentially overall it's probably a mistake I could not avoid. But anyway. So that was the quali run for Deep Forest. And well, as I predicted, because I made a mistake, that's why I didn't put this car on the pole. But anyways, I would say the GTR at the present time is looking relatively comfortable in officially securing second in this championship, with my fellow Mitsubishi, the Evo 4, probably taking 4th. Sorry, taking 3rd, essentially. And please don't ask why I said 4th. It could probably just be me essentially being stupid or something, but anyways. Oh fuck. But anyways, oh, he's bouncing now, boys. The GTR definitely bounced there. And I have a feeling he's probably going to be bouncing rather a lot in this race. Yep, he's bouncing now, boys. That GTR is. He's definitely bouncing. He definitely cannot get through those corners on the grass without bouncing. Even though I've had a couple of minor bounces myself, essentially overall, I'm probably not going to be bouncing as much as the Skyline is. But anyways, he's currently pulling away from me. And am I going to try and go after him? Probably. Because essentially overall, I am wanting to prove the course that I am worthy of winning all 6 races. Oh, he's hit the wall. And this is my opportunity. Can I get past him? Yes, I can. And now I just need to avoid making the same mistake again. Because if I do, then that would be embarrassing. Because essentially overall, if I do end up making the same mistake again, I will probably be embarrassed. But anyways. Now into the final sequence of corners. Entering the final corner now. Keeping this car under control. Everything going well at the present time. per usual with my GTO, at least in this championship anyway, I'm once again leading the way, but oddly enough, because of how bumpy this track surface is, I think that's probably the main reason on why exactly this race itself has proven to be more interesting than all the others. At least for me anyway. As we now round up the final corner, and I just went on the grass by mistake, but anyways, across the line I go. It is victory number 5. 5 down, 1 to go in this championship. And it looks as though Delantis is not going to get the consistently low 6 points, as he has surprisingly managed to finish 5th in this race. So these are the point standings, as of which mathematically I have already clinched the championship, since I have won 5 out of the 5 races held so far. The GTR is currently in 2nd, then it is the Lancer Evo 4 GSR in 3rd, then it is the Honda Accord Sedan in 4th, followed by the Toyota Exif 200 GT in 5th, and also as for the Mazda Lantis Type R, it will almost certainly finish in last. But at the very least, he will not get the perfectly and consistently low 6 points, since he finished 5th in this race. But anyways, 5 down, 1 to go, as it is now time for the 6th and final race of this championship. Special stage, Route 11. So, I would say the battle for 2nd is still on between the GTR and the Evo 4, but, well, as for the rest, I would say it probably is going to be interesting to see who will officially clinch 4th in this championship, but, well, I'm fairly confident the GTR will probably take 2nd in this championship. But anyways, let's head to qualifying and let's see how we do. Me on the pole for the 4th time in this championship, and by a sublime 5 seconds over the GTR. Then it is the Lancer Evo 4 GSR in 3rd, then it is the Honda Accord once again qualifying in 4th, the Mazda Lantis once again securing 5th, and well, for the Toyota Exif, this is probably not good for his chances in officially clinching 4th in this championship. But anyways, so there we go. Also an additional 10 grand for securing the pole. And now it is time for us to head to our 5th and final race of the GT World Cup special stage, Route 11. Let's fucking go. So relatively even off the line, and well, it looks like the GTR probably will take 2nd in the championship over the Evo 4, unless he crashes somewhere. But again, because this course itself is so long, I would imagine it would not be possible for the Evo 4 to officially secure 2nd in this championship unless the GTR has an accident somewhere that respectively comes as a result of his hydraulic bouncing. Because, oddly enough, there are race cars in this game that can tend to do that quite a lot, if I'm being completely honest. But anyways, I am currently leading, as usual, with my GTO, and at the moment, unless I crash, I am very much on course to probably taking a relatively easy 6th W in a row. Considering at the moment the field is evenly split at the present time, and oddly enough, of course, I did not think the field I was going to be up against with my GTO would literally be this unchallenging, but oddly enough, this is the field I was given, and it is very much the field that I will probably accept competing against. As I now head through this hairpin here, and well, admittedly overall, this circuit subsequently has rather a lot of hairpins in my opinion. I couldn't say how many for sure, but at least this version of Route 11 in particular has rather a lot of hairpins. Oh, I think I braked a little bit too late there for the chicane. But at the moment I'm still leading this, and at this point I would say the GTR is very much looking like he will secure second in this championship unless he has a wreck, which I'm not predicting is going to happen. But as for me, as long as I don't hit the walls, I am very much on course to taking what is probably going to be another relatively easy W. As I now head through the middle section of the lap, approaching these two chicanes for the final time in this race, on the third and final lap of this race. And going through here, keeping it all nice and smooth. At the present time, everything is going pretty much according to plan at the present time, as I now head through the final hairpin turn before the chicane. And also going through the chicane for the third and final time, rounding out the final corner of this course to officially make it 6 wins out of 6 for the GTO. And with that, a perfect 54 points to go along with it. So, in my opinion, this has been a relatively easy championship for me, overall. And it looks as though, in the end, of course, the Skyline is officially, well, Skyline GTR LM is officially secure for second with 32 points, The Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 4 GSR has to settle for third with 28 points. The Honda Accord Sedan SIR eventually managed to clinch fourth in the championship by 3 points over the Toyota Active, who has 13 points, and also, as for the Mazda Lantis, he finishes last with 7 points. So 54 points to me and my GTO, 32 to the GTR, 28 to the Lancer Evo 4, 16 to the Accord Sedan, 13 to the Active 200 GT, and 7 points to the Mazda Lantis Type R. As I have officially made it 6 out of 6 victories for both me and my GTO. So an additional 20 grand for winning the race. And well, as far as I know, just gonna check to see if I've already got a replay. I'm sure I have, and yes I do. And now of course we get to collect our championship bonus. So, 50 grand for winning the championship. And we also get the trophy. Very nice. And I believe after this bit we also get the credits. I shall probably watch those now, but anyways. Let us see what happens. Oh yeah. Those were good. But anyways. So, I just witnessed the credits, and well, to anyone asking if you will get to witness the credits, well, you will do. But, man, those were good credits, and well, now, if we go back onto the Gran Turismo mode, you officially unlock something else as soon as you have completed the GT World Cup. So, as you can see here, it goes back, of course, to the GT League page, and as you can see, all of my gold trophies. And well, if we go on here, you will notice there is another arrow that moves to the right, and of course, that proves that we have officially unlocked this GTHi-Fi mode. And many of you will probably be able to witness this on both simulation mode and also on arcade mode. But anyways, so there we go. That is what we unlock after completing the Gran Turismo World Cup. So now of course we are going to head back to our homepage, and well, unfortunately from this championship, as you can see here, we don't unlock or win any new cars unfortunately, but we do unlock GTHi-Fi mode as I have just shown you, and that of course will probably be the very last thing that I officially display to you in this game. And well, even though in terms of events it may look like we are done with the game, but well, I'm not officially done with the game just yet, because I feel as though there are probably a few more things I may need to show off in order to, you know, officially be declared complete with this game. And what will I show off first? Well, you will just have to wait and find out. But until then, stay tuned for more GT1.